This session is all about how to write and publish a non-fiction book so that you can stand out as an expert in your field and use this as part of your lead generation system, and indeed the system that allows you to start charging more and more for your expertise and your time as your credibility starts going through the roof. So, all right, we are going to learn how to publish a book on Amazon in 30 minutes. And trust me, I have now done this 14 times. I am a 14 times published author, and 5 of those books have gone to international #1 bestseller. And I made all of them myself, all of my covers myself, and got them online myself. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in the next 30 minutes. Now, don't forget, if you want to learn how to grow your very own online business, come and join my academy, sarahcordiner.com/academy, where you can get access to over 40 of my action-packed online courses and a monthly live call with me for just $47. Grab it now. See you soon. I am going to focus this session on non-fiction books, on the premise that the majority of us are doing this for the purposes of sharing our expertise with the world. I do also have training on children's books for those of you that are looking to go down that line and reach the child market too. Now this is a paid link, by the way, but I'm going to share it with you here. If you go to sarahcordiner.com for this to go into more depth, sarahcordiner.com/academy. Inside there is, for just $47, you can access my full book publishing course. It's just $47 in there, but that's a paid one, just as a disclaimer there. Now, let's get going. We are going to be highly practical here. The session is being recorded. We are going to go through the process of putting together a book. So for those of you that have been in previous sessions of mine, I've been showing you how to find the questions that your audience are asking that are high in demand, have high search volume, and therefore are the content that people highly desire. So going through that process, we're going to be looking at how many tips can we put into a book. Now, roughly speaking, guys, if you want to be printing your book out, let me just grab one over here a second. If you want to be printing a book and have a substantial sized book to actually print, you're going to want about 100 pages or more. Okay, so I found that anything less than 100 pages just feels a little bit too on the light side. So you're going to want it to be 100 pages or plus. So that basically means if you had 50 tips that you're going to give to your audience and you answer each tip in 2 pages, you've already got yourself a full book. Now, most tips you can probably answer in more than 2 pages if you're going to be putting examples and sharing a bit of story behind them, which means you'll probably end up with a way fatter book than 100 pages if you've got 50 tips. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to create like a dummy. I'm going to show you how to do it on Kindle first of all. This is the process is the same for a print book. What I personally like to do is work on Google Sheets. Reason being is that it's impossible to lose your work. Google Sheets is completely free. It's like Word, but on Google, and you can access it from absolutely any device. So if, God forbid, anything happens to your computer, you can go and pick up any other device and carry on where you left off without losing your work. The other reason why I like using Google Docs, and actually this is a feature that is also available on Word, is the voice typing tool. Now, I wrote my first book in less than 2 days. And on the 3rd day, it was a #1 bestseller. I had a tiny little baby and I was walking around my supermarket with my phone, one of those cheap, crappy little sets of earplugs in them with a little microphone on it, just the normal earplugs that you get free with your phone. All you're going to do is go to Tools, click on Voice Typing. The first time you do this, it will say, can Google have permission to access your microphone? Press yes, and yes, it does exactly what you think. Hello, my name is Sarah Cordiner and I am too busy to type my book. So I'm going to walk through the supermarket with my baby and tell you absolutely everything I know about creating an online course. So step number 1 is to blah, 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 blah. So as you can see, most people call me, oh, it's even fixed my name. So, I mean, how easy is that? Now, if you've got your phone and you've got the Google Docs app on your phone, you can just simply open up the app on your phone and go for a walk with the dog or on the treadmill at the gym, and you can talk your book out. But basically what we're going to be doing here is first page is we're going to just come up with our title. So here is my title. Let's actually just make a pretend book. My top tips on leadership. Let's call it Leadership Secrets. Leadership Secrets. Let's do that. Let's do a pretend leadership book. And we're simply just going to whack it onto a heading #1 or title even, and go to central, and boom, we've got our title page. We're just going to put by Sarah Cordiner on there. And then I'm going to go through all the different methods of trying to find every single question my audience are asking. So we're going to go hit a new page. By the way, to make a new page without having to go through new page, just press Control Enter and it takes you to a new page. So the first place I'm going to go is I'm going to go to Answer the Public. Those of you who've been following me today, I will know this. It's where all the top questions people are typing into Google come up. So I'm going to type in leadership. I'm going to change it to the US. And I'm going to hit search, and it's going to bring up all the questions that people are asking about leadership. And I've done too many searches today. I found that if you go to an incognito window, you can do it again. Answer the Public. Thought that might be the case. We're doing too many demos on it today. On the free plan, I think you're only allowed to do about 3 searches a day. But as you can see, you change to incognito, and you can keep doing more. All right, we're going to press search. And oh damn it, it is recognizing me. All right, and so if I hadn't exhausted all of my searches, it's going to show me all of the questions that people are asking about leadership, and I would simply start copying all of the questions that I can actually answer and start putting them in my book. The next thing I'm going to do is type in, oh, I'm just going to see the chat box coming up there. You may need to change your IP address by using a VPN. Yeah. Where did I click on the mic? So Liana and Kate, I click on the mic by going to tools and then voice typing under tools over here. Cool. So I'll be coming through Answer the Public, and I'd find all the questions people are asking about my topic, and I will start putting each kind of main question on each page. The next thing I'm going to do is find listicles. So this is article lists, and I'm going to type in ways to on Google and then my topic, leader or leadership. And so you see here 10 ways to, 12 ways to, 8 ways to, 7 ways to, and it just keeps going on and on. This is going to be a really great way for us to, again, start finding all of the things that we can give our own unique version on, our own unique voice about what these tips are. So here's one, your unique style. So I'm going to go to my, my sheet here and type in uncover your leadership style. So I now know that that's going to be something I'm going to write something on. Okay, so I'm going to change that to a heading, and then I'm going to go to a new page. Then I'm going to go back to my listicles, and there's one here, creativity. So I'd look into that a little bit more to kind of know what I want to say around that. So I might call it the creative leader wins, right? That might be my unique viewpoint on whatever creativity and leadership mean. Change it to heading 1 and go to a new page. So I keep going through this process. Be a role model. That's another tip. Be a role model. Go to, boom, the next page. So I'm going to keep doing this until I've got about 50 tips. Using Answer the Public, which will get you at least 80. Going to listicles, which will just enable you to keep finding hundreds. Now, the other thing I do is I then go on to Amazon. So if I'm trying to find content for this book, I'm going to go into Amazon and I'm going to try and find leadership books. So I'm going to drop down to books and I'm going to type in leadership, hit enter. Oops, got that wrong. And what I want to do is try and find books that allow me to look inside. So I'm going to click on this one, see if this allows me to do this. That doesn't have a look inside feature. Yes, it does. So if you click on Kindle, it allows you to look inside. Problem loading this page. All right. Let me try again. There we go. No, obviously that book doesn't allow you to look inside. So I'll go find another one. And what I'm doing here, the purpose of looking inside these leadership books is we want to have a look at the contents page. So this one here is letting me look inside. Hopefully it lets me. Yes, it does. Yes, here we go. It's just being a bit slow. So I'm going to start scrolling through this book here. And this is before you buy it. You can do this. And I want to find the contents page. Usually the contents is available in the preview section. So here it's going to often give us, again, more clues as to what content people are looking for. Here we go. So here we've got our contents page. Now, if I'm particularly going to be looking at the books that are coming up in the bestsellers, so any of the books that are coming up in bestsellers is telling us that people like these books. They like this content. They've got good ratings. This is stuff we want to talk to. So here we go. I'm going to be looking through and just finding leadership develops daily, not in a day. So that might be something I want to talk about. So it takes time, or give yourself time. So I'd come up with my own explanation around that. I might share some of my story about, you know, my first day in leadership and how I found it a real struggle. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm never going to learn all this stuff. And now here I am 20 years later, blah, 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 blah. I've learned that it takes time and I'm still learning and still growing, right? Do you see what I mean? When we can start putting our own spin on this and sharing it from our own perspective so that it becomes our book and our story rather than just a regurgitation of stuff that's already out there. So again, I'll just keep scrolling through all of the contents pages of the top books that are coming up in that topic. Now, another thing you can do if you want to keep finding more tips is I found that Kindle Unlimited is a great thing to get into. I've got some feedback. There we go. Kindle Unlimited, I think it's like $7 a month, but you get the first 2 weeks for free. So when you're going and doing this research, it basically allows you to download any 10 books at a time. And then you can open up your Kindle and you can just scroll through the headings of each of those books so that you can again collect up the tips or the things that you might deliver your own content on and share your own story about. So Kindle Unlimited, go download it, jump in and download every single book in your topic, scroll through and keep adding to the headings of this section. So once I've gone through and I found about 50 tips on each page, the next thing I tend to do is answer or start off each of those with my own kind of little story. So when I look at this leadership style, I might say, oh, I remember this time when I had my first job. And this boss I had was absolutely horrible. Everyone was nervous around him. Everyone wanted to hide from him, and just basically, all of us hated coming to work, and everyone was pulling sickies all the time, blah, blah, blah. But later on, I always thought, and then I thought all bosses were evil. Later on, I went to this other job and this boss was amazing. She encouraged me to learn. She helped me do this and blah, blah, blah. And then I realized, that some bosses are amazing. It's thanks to her I have the whole career I've got today. And this is really how important our leadership style is. You can see here, I bet every single person reading this has had a horrible boss and a great boss. So if you're wanting to become an amazing leader, you need to be thinking about the style of leadership that you're using. My first boss was an autocratic leader. My second boss was a blah, blah, blah leader. Here are the 10 different types of leadership styles, and then just teach them what the leadership styles are. Boom. There we go. There are a million different things out there about leadership style, but I've communicated and introduced it with my own Sarah's voice, bringing in my experience, my background, connecting to my learners in the way that I engage. So again, I would then give the little story, put the different actual tips and the actual information in after that. And usually I'd end a book with, and here's an action point for you to go away with. So each section with here's an action point. So again, the creative leader wins. So this is where I could sort of talk about, I know I'm making it up on the spot just purely to give you an example here. I might talk about how creativity has changed my life, and that actually, I remember this time when I had this really big problem at work, and we had to be really creative about how to solve it because I wasn't given a budget. And so I had to go out and do some fundraising, and we did this really fun thing and blah, blah, blah. And therefore, it's really important that you hone your creativity skills and even embrace them in the workplace as a leader. And then we might talk about some creative thinking strategies for leaderships as the actual content, and then we'd have an activity at the end. How can you become more creative today? So you can see here that flow, that structure continues to be the same for each book. And this is why I kind of like to do the first rough draft, and I mean blur. Do not try and edit as you go. I want you to just blur all this out the first time you do it. Acting as a role model. It's easier when you talk out these stories. Walking along, I'll just go and walk my dog, chuffing along, and I'll be like, role models, role models. What do I think? What's the first thing that comes to my head when I think role model? And I'll just be like this. Hey, I remember this time when I was a kid, and all the other kids used to like follow me and copy me, and I used to get so annoyed with them because they're kind of, stop copying me. I mean, maybe reader, you have kids and your kids are always fighting because one's copying the other one. And we can go, but isn't it true how we are acting as role models when we're being leaders? Let's talk about that, and then we'll give them some information and then give them an action. So it doesn't have to be hard, and you don't have to have amazing stories. We can just relate to that reader and go, hey, do you ever think this? Have you ever noticed that? Or one time when I was here, what does it make you think of when you hear this title? And just go with what comes out first. blur it all down, share the tip, give them an action point. Now, if you can do that over 2 pages for 50 tips, you have yourself a book. And if you're willing to just go for a big fat walk and get this out, you can do this in a day. Absolutely can do it in a day. Day number 2 is you simply go through your blur transcript that you voice typed out, and you're just going to tidy it all up and edit it, because obviously when you're voice typing, it comes out without any grammar or stuff in it properly, and it needs a bit of tidying up. But the second day alone, you simply type up all the content and you have yourself a book. So make sure you get the spell checker on it. Now, it doesn't have to be completely perfect. Admission, the last 2 books I've published, I didn't even get edit checked. But what I'd recommend is going to Upwork, or maybe there's someone in the Blueprint community who is a copy editor and who can go through and just review it, check it, copy edit it, and make sure it's all nice and tidy. Now, with books, the great thing about going with Kindle and things is that you can upload new versions at any time you like. So if you do find that there's mistakes, you can replace the file, okay? And it will actually automatically update people's Kindles who've already purchased it. So please don't freak out and get over perfectionist about this. People are not going to put hates on you because there's a spelling mistake in your book. They're going to go, woohoo, that book was well worth $3. I got my thing from it, and now I follow that person because their stuff's actually good. So please don't worry about this like, oh my gosh, it has to be perfect. People are buying information. They're not buying it to put you on the front of the NBN 6 o'clock news for spelling fish wrong, okay? So we've now gone through, and in 2 days, you can do this. You've created all your content, blur, blur, blur. Now what do we do? If you want to get it copy edited, step 2 is to get it copy edited so that all your internal file is nice and pretty. In terms of next, when you've written your book, then go and do the title. I find people put off their book because they want to think of the title first, and they spend forever trying to name something that hasn't been born yet. I don't know if any of you have ever bought a pet, but normally you name the pet after you've got the pet, because this one looks like a fluffy, right? you just go, this animal just looks like this. You know it when it's in front of you. So birth the book first. Then knowing what it is and what it's made of, it's going to make it a lot easier to then name it afterwards. This applies to courses and programs and businesses as well, right? In fact, one of my most successful courses was just called Coaching Program for 18 months because I couldn't come up with a suitable name for it, right? So just don't worry again about the title and let that stop you. Create it, then name it. So after you've given it a name because it's been written, next you're going to probably want to put some visual to this and make it actually exist. So what I like to do, believe it or not, over in Amazon, all of my books, I've done the covers for myself. So I'm just going over to, apart from my kids' books, I just like to point out. You can see here, they all look pretty professional. I mean, you know, a book's a book, right? All of these have just been made on Canva. Okay, so all we're going to do is go on over to Canva, and the first thing I want to state as a really good habit in general for your business is to start getting comfortable taking photos of yourself. All of my professional images, these are, you know, ones that I've got on my YouTube channel. If I just go back here, all the ones that are on my book, all the ones here on YouTube channels with these pictures of me on the front of these thumbnails. These are also the thumbnails I put on my blog posts and everything. The more people see your face, the more familiar of you they become, the more they feel like they get to know you. I really recommend putting your face as your brand. It becomes a very, very powerful tool for conversions. So what I do when I've brushed my hair and put some makeup on is I simply get one of these selfie ring lights. It's got a little thing on it here. If you go to sarahcordiner.com/equipment, I have got a list of stuff you can buy on Amazon that's really cheap and affordable. Links to all these things that I buy. So this is all I do, guys. I simply stick the selfie ring light up and I just put the timer on my phone and I just take heaps and heaps of pictures of myself. So you tend to just, you know, do some smiley ones, do some professional ones, arms crossed. You can even do ones where you're pointing at something. whether you're being thoughtful, somewhere you're being confused, somewhere you're like, yay, I'm so excited, somewhere you're like, right? Get yourself like a library, and you look like an absolute wally, right? Absolutely, you feel ridiculous doing this. But when you've got these, you have a whole suite of marketing stuff, and you'll see some of these, they're just literally done in my office. There's no fancy stuff going on here, but this where it becomes quite powerful for creating your content. So I'll show you how. We're going to go into Canva, and we're going to go to create a design, and we're going to type in ebook. So this is particularly for the Kindle book at the moment. I'm going to type in ebook, and it will actually give us the exact right size that this thing needs to be, okay? And this is where you can go in and you can either use one of these templates. There's heaps of templates available for ebooks here. You can scroll through and find something that you want to edit to be whatever you want it to be. But let's pretend I want to go with this one. But I don't want that background in there. I'm going to choose some kind of photo, and I'm going to type in leadership, right? I don't know, I'm just going to find something random right now. Let's pretend that's the one I want. I'm just going to position it to the back, pull it right out. So remember, we've got to keep it exactly to these edges, because this is what's telling us will be the cover. So I'll just drag and drop that to be like bang in the middle. And then I'm going to type in have I put it with capital letters yet? Leadership secrets. And you can literally just play around with, you can change the fonts, you can change the colors, So there we go. I'm just going to play around with that, change it to left aligned. I know, making it up as I go along right now. I might want to move that dot thing over to here, and it's going to be by Sarah Cordiner. You see just how easy this is to do. So many people fuss over this stuff, guys. It's the publishing that makes you money. It's the putting it out there and pressing publish that earns you money. Fussing over it does not. So boom, that looks fine to me, right? One of the other things I like to do is put free e-course inside or free something inside. And we're going to press download as a JPEG, download. I now have spent a day talking my book out, a day editing it, and literally a minute making the cover. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to kdp.com, Amazon KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing.com. This is Amazon's publishing platform. This is where you can create your print books, actual physical books. It's also where you publish your Kindle books as well. So the process of publishing here is the same, whether it's your paperback version or whether it's your Kindle version, okay? But I'm going to take you through the Kindle version today only, because it's the fastest to get up there and get out there in the world. So once you log into KDP, it will ask you to log in. You just use your normal Amazon shopping login details. It's all just the Amazon platform. And the first thing you're going to do is press add a Kindle book, right? So we're going to press add a Kindle book. And this is where we're going to start uploading and filling in all of our content, and we're going to start doing this bit by bit. So as long as you've got your account set up, great. Now, the next thing we can do, hang on a minute, let me just tell you what order am I going to do this in. Let's do our internal file first. Let's do that. So I'm going to go back to my internal file. So here is it's just simply a Google document at the moment. And we're going to go to File, and we're going to download as a Word file. So we want to just get the Microsoft Word version. So if you've done it in Microsoft Word, you're already there. Now, the tool that you can use to convert your file to a really nice looking internal format, it's a completely free tool called Kindle Create. Okay. Now, by the way, you can actually just press on Google, File, Download as an EPUB. See there it says EPUB? That is actually the file that you just download and upload to Kindle. But I like to just tidy mine up and check how it looks on Kindle first. So I'm giving you the advanced version, but if you literally went download as an EPUB, boom, you've got your file. That is all you need. But I'm just going to show you Kindle Create if you want to put some fancier stuff into your ebook. So here is Kindle Create. It's free. Just go and download it from Amazon itself. Type in Kindle Create and it will bring you the download page. So all you need to do is create a new one. So I'm going to do create new. We're going to press choose, and then it gives you some options. Like if you're doing comics, it will be a slightly different layout, but we're just going to go reflowable. Always choose reflowable for just a normal book with, you can have images and everything in it, but for just a normal book, go for reflowable. And then we are going to choose our file, and I've got my untitled document that I just created here. So select your Word document and press open. Give it a second and it's going to pull it over into the Kindle Creator. And the reason why I like this is purely because it shows you what it's going to look like on a Kindle device. And I just like to do that check, that's all. I'm not too fussy about my spellings and things like that, but I do want to make sure it's actually eligible. Legible, I mean, sorry. So we're just going to press get started. And what it's going to do is it's going to suck your book in. And it's going to actually preset it into suggested headings. So you see here, it's given me all the headings that it's pulled out of my book, and we're just going to press accept selected. And now this is exactly what this will look like in Kindle. So we can actually, if we want to, we can edit any of this when it comes up in here. So we go blah, blah, blah. We can edit straight inside this particular document. If I wanted to change any of these to be like a little quote, for instance, we can do that. So we can just do the formatting. You see here, it's not saved the space between the title and the text. So I can just make my spaces there. Let's say I wanted to have a nice capital letter at the start of my chapter. We can just press this chapter first paragraph. We can go over to the formatting here and we can change the color of the text. We can change the size of the text and things like that. We can make things central if we want to. So I can go over here and center that. So it's more just, you know, you don't have to do this. You can just literally go file, download as an EPUB. But I just like to do that and do that final little check. Now, if I'm happy with that, it's going to make me save it first. So I'm just going to press save. Then all you've got to press in this top right-hand corner is generate. So you just press generate. Now I'm not going to do it, but it's going to, because it will just take a minute to save and I haven't got enough internet. But all I'm going to do is press save and boom, the EPUB file is now saved on my computer if we wanted to go down this road. But like I said, you can skip that whole stage completely and just go to file, download, EPUB. So now we've got our internal file. We've also got our cover file. So I'm going to now go back to my KDP area. And here's the things that it's going to ask us for. First of all, it's going to put in how to leadership secrets, whatever I've decided to call my book. Subtitle, this is the best book ever. All right. Then, is it part of a series or an edition? If it's your first book, it's probably unlikely, so leave it blank. Who's the author? That's you, my sexy smart friend, who's going to become very rich from sharing your knowledge. Are there any co-authors? So this is where perhaps a couple of you get together and you create some content together. You can simply just add in the names of your co-authors here as well, which is very handy. This is the description of your book that actually appears on Amazon. So if you want to be smart, go back to Amazon and go and find other leadership books, if that's your topic. Go and find other books on your topic and go and read their descriptions first. And it will give you some idea of what the descriptions are like on those books that are selling really, really well. So this is the bit that people are going to see in this description area. So definitely go and have a look at other people's to be inspired. And once you've done that, you're simply going to then paste all of your description of your book into this section here. You do have a character limit, by the way, 4,000 characters. So just keep that in mind. Now, the next bit is, do you own the copyright? Yes, you do. If this has come out of your own mouth and your own head, it's your content, you are the copyright. Then you're going to type in your keywords. Please put as many keywords as you possibly are allowed. This is the words that people are likely to type into Amazon to find your book, okay? So make sure you literally think, what are people typing in to find stuff like this? It's really helpful to have your keywords, so make sure you pop them in. Then your categories. Now this one is really important. Hands up, who wants to be an international #1 best-selling author? Boom. Of course you do. Of course you do. There is nothing wrong with having that ambition. Your category, I'm going to tell you the most, the secret is going to ruin your dreams. ruin the illusion rather, not ruin your dreams. It's going to make your dreams and ruin the illusion. There are so many categories on Amazon. It is ridiculous. Amazon updates its bestseller ranking every hour. Every single 1 hour, it refreshes its system. You only have to sell the most amount of books in a category in order to be the best seller of that category. That's literally what it is, right? It's the person who is selling the most right now. So I purposely publish my books when the US is asleep because they are our biggest competitors in terms of volume of people. If you choose a category, and make sure it's the right category, don't literally post in a completely unrelated category. But if you choose a category within a category within a category, guys, sometimes you only need to sell one book to be the bestseller that hour. That's it. I remember when I put my first book up and I looked on the screen and it said #1 bestseller. It had the #1 spot on the front page of Amazon. And I was like, what? How is it? I ran to my system to see how many millions of books I'd sold. And I had sold 34 books. That made me an international #1 best-selling author because it had gone #1 in multiple Amazon stores. It had gone #1 in the US, AU, UK. Boom, you can say international now, right? Take your screenshots so you've got your proof and you can use that on your pages. But it's not hard to pick your hour, create an event on Facebook, get all of your friends to join the event and say, my book's going to be 99 cents. Please, friends, buy my book between this time and this time on this date. And I guarantee you, you will get #1 bestseller if you've gone into a category of a category. So, you know, you'll see here, I normally go for, you can either go for non-fiction or education and reference, but it's likely to be non-fiction for you. Go and find your category, right? So for me, I know, is there a leadership section in here? Because I'm pretending to make a leadership book at the moment. No, there's not. I'll go business. And you can see here, like there's business communication and then general, right? So boom, I can pick that section and you're allowed to pick a couple of categories. So I can choose another one and make sure you choose another one and make sure obviously it's a relevant category. So I'm just going to pick some random stuff for now. But this is where, you know, if you've only got to sell one book more than everyone else in one subcategory within 1 hour, you can do this. It's really, really surprisingly and shockingly simple. Right, is there an age range? So this only really applies if you're targeting a particular key skills group or if your book contains content that makes it, you know, only better for over 18s. Otherwise, leave it blank. Are you ready to release your book now? Of course we are, because we've worked really hard the last 48 hours just getting this stuff out of our head. Boom, done. We're going to move to now the next page. And this is where we're going to upload our content. So the next thing it's going to ask you is, do you want to have digital rights management? This means, do you want it to disable sharing? Guys, the whole point of doing everything we're doing is that the world can share our stuff. If we own a book, we want the world to share our book, don't we? Of course we do. So please opt out of digital rights management. If you say yes to digital rights management, it means your book can't be shared. Right? We are not going to lose the food on our table if somebody shares our 99 cents Kindle book. We are doing this so that more people can find us. So make sure you press no for that one. And then you're going to upload your manuscript. So I'm just going to go over here and actually grab the EPUB version straight from Google. So I'm just going to go EPUB and it's just going to download it down there. Boom, there it is. So I'm going to go back to here, upload my manuscript, go to my downloads and click, there's my EPUB book. I'm going to press open. It's going to upload the EPUB. Excuse me. The slowest internet in history. Let's close some of these things over here. There we go, done. So we got that. Then we're going to upload our cover. So we made a beautiful cover for our book just a moment ago. Oh, cover creator. Oh, I don't want the cover creator, so I'm going to ignore that, sorry. So the cover creator, which is what we don't want, this allows you to design your own cover, but we've already designed one in Canva. So I'm going to come out of my cover creator here. No, thank you. We are going to simply press upload a cover that you already have, press upload, and there's our Leadership Secrets book. An error occurred. Oh, I've done it the wrong size. I didn't pay attention. All right, make sure you get the right cover size. So you see they've uploaded the manuscript tick. Make sure I get the right cover size for here. You can preview it if you want to, but if you've used the Kindle Create, you don't need to launch this previewer because you've already seen what it's going to look like. Now, an ISBN is your barcode number or the number that identifies your book. So Kindle will automatically issue you one for your Amazon print books. So you don't need to buy anything here. A Kindle book doesn't need one. So you can just completely move on from that stage and press save and continue. And it will take you to the next page, which is where we put in our pricing. So as we move over to the final page of our publishing process, The first option you have is KDP Select. Would you like your book to be in KDP Select? Yes, you do. Please press yes to that. What this means is that you're allowing Amazon to run special promotions that include your book. You're allowing Amazon to do like the buy one book, get another book for $1 deal. You're allowing Amazon to do buy one, get one free deals where your book's included in the stuff people can get for free. Basically, you're saying to Amazon, yes, please promote my book. All right, we want Amazon to do that for us. That's the whole point of this process. Where do you want to be available for sale? Everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Tick the everywhere box. Sell it everywhere, please. Thank you, Amazon. Where's your primary marketplace? I recommend just selecting .com because then it puts it everywhere for you. And what royalty do you want to collect? Now, the main difference between these is how much you get in return. So I tend to say to Amazon, hey, I'm happy for you to take 70% and I'll just take 35% because then Amazon will promote your book even more. So basically you're basically saying to Amazon, do you want to have most of the money or can Amazon have most of your money? Now, I don't know what viewpoint or mindset you have on this, but my mindset is I'm using Amazon to steal their customers. If I make a couple of dollars in return for Amazon promoting me to everyone, which gets them into my list, boom. 10 minutes left. I would much rather Amazon take a tiny bit extra commission and promote me. So I normally select that I only want 35% commission because I know that Amazon's going to work a bit harder for me in that case because they're going to make more money. So I go for personally selling my books as low as Amazon will allow me, which I believe is $2.99 when you're on the 35% commission. So you can see here, look, I only make $1.05. This is your royalty that you get. If I sell my book for $3, I get $1 back. Now I actually get a couple $100 a month from Amazon. So I mean, like, woo, no one's going on holiday with that stuff, but hey, it pays for a couple of pieces of software, right? So I'm happy with that. And that tells me that actually quite a few people have been finding my books. It is, you know, so woohoo, this is a place where people wouldn't normally find me do. And I happen to get paid for it, albeit enough for a bits of software subscriptions. Done. So this will just show you, you can keep changing this. You can see if you really want to make a certain amount of money, you're never going to get rich on Amazon, guys. It's just a nice bit of extra pocket money. You can see the difference here. By doubling the price of my book, I'm only making an extra like 70 cents. So for me, I'm just like, what's the point? Like, let's just let as many people as possible get this thing. So there we go. I'm happy with that. So choose your price. It's up to you. It's your business. The next option you have is book lending. Do you want people to be able to lend their book to other Kindle users? Yes, you do. Again, if you want the world to find you, let them share, let them find you. Sharing is caring, and all comes back to you, my friends. Karma is a thing. So I always turn allow lending on. Woohoo, more people can find me. Then publish your book. You press the button, you press publish. Within about 24 hours, your book will be live on Amazon. Oh yeah. So this is really important to note, guys. Amazon does not tell you when you're number one. So when you press publish, take tons of coffee because you're going to have to stay awake all night. So what I tend to do is I go to, you go to Amazon, go to your book. Now, when you've published your book, don't do your launch for at least 4 days because it takes about 3 days for it to update on across all of the Amazon stores. So you're going to just let it publish. Don't do anything with it. Let it just load for a few days. And then sometime after 4 days, then do the Facebook group or the Facebook event and tell everyone or send an email out, please go and buy my book right now. When you scroll down underneath the bottom of your page, it will tell you here, it says bestsellers rank. So obviously you'll be like 10 billion and something because you haven't done a promotion yet. But basically this is the number that you want to be looking at and keep refreshing and keep refreshing and keep refreshing. So you basically have to open all of the stores. I'll just show you where to do that. Back into your KDP area, you go to bookshelf, to save and continue. Go back to bookshelf over here where now your draft or your published book will be showing. And you'll see here, it says view it on Amazon. You open the US one, you open the UK one, you open the Deutsch one, you open the French one, you open the Spanish one, open all of them and have them all open on your computer. And every hour, just go into each tab and press refresh, refresh, refresh. And then it will show you this rank. Now, when you start getting into the top 20, that's when you just click directly there and it will actually take you to the tile view where your book will fill that space. So you have to physically be there and you have to actually manually screenshot it because Amazon will not tell you. It's just be ready to do that. And you will see your book pop up and have that slot. Man, you better make sure you screenshot that bad boy because that's a proud spot to have. Stick it up on your wall. It's absolutely amazing. So there we go, my friends. Now, one of the next things you might want to do is then use your ebook as a little bit of a lead magnet tool. So one of the things I like to do is go to a website called DIYbookcovers.com, DIYbookcovers.com. And this is the reason why is because if I go to sarahcorn.com/starter kit, I want to show you how you can use a little visual now to create an ebook that you actually give away for free in return for getting people's email addresses. So this is my free course creation starter kit. And you see we've got this sexy little 3D mock-up here. This is called a 3D mock-up. Now you can get people on Amazon, on Fiverr and Upwork and stuff to make these for you, but I'm going to show you how to make this free because this is now how you can use this book you've made as a lead magnet, right? To start getting people into your list. So you go to free DIYbookcovers.com, click on book design and go to 3D mockups, 3D mockups over here. And you can see here, you've got these kind of visual things that you can use. This is completely free, by the way. There is no charge for this at all. Here's the actual one that I used, right? So we're going to go for that one. Press next. We are going to then find the cover that we made on Canva. There's my little cover that we just made earlier today. We're going to press upload, give it a second. And now it's brought that Leadership Secrets book up. Let it load. Press next. And then you've got here the PNG file. Click on PNG, give it a second. It does take a minute just to load this one. Beep, 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 beep. Come on. Here we go. Ready? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's not loaded properly. Nice example, Sarah. But you can see there. Maybe let me just give it a second. I clicked it too fast. Right, I'm clicking too quickly. Right, but you get the point. If I didn't click it too quickly, we would have, let me just give it a moment to load. Beep, beep, beep. Okay, now let's do it. Boom. Oh yeah. There we go. Don't be too clicky like me. So now we have this beauty. I mean, how professional does that look? It just looks awesome. That is so sexy. So now we can quite simply go onto some email marketing software, create an opt-in form or stick it on the front of our website like we've got here, and boom, you have yourself a lead magnet. That, my friends, is how you write and publish a best-selling book in 30 minutes. Boom. Any questions? Woo! Who's excited? Who's going to become an author this week? Yes! Now, the cool thing is, guys, if you've already got blog posts, if you've got videos, go and transcribe your videos. You've already written a book. I guarantee you, if any of you have ever done videos, you've already got one written if you transcribe them all. If you've got blog posts, go copy and paste them, stick it in a Word document, tidy it up and press publish. All right, you don't have to get too full into this. And guys, things like journals, journal books, prompt books, ideas books are absolutely massive right now. I've got a whole entire book where I've just had like a journal prompt today. It's like 300 pages long. It's lovely and fat. And people buy it. So you don't have to go really in depth. It's a product that gets you online, that makes you publish, that people can find you through. So, you know, this is really fun. It's really exciting and it's very addictive. Any questions?
Actually, I have, Sarah, ISBN numbers.
Yes.
Do you put those on, like, as far as self-publishing and that sort of thing is concerned? Do you put ISBN numbers on and whatnot?
On print books, yes. So when you publish your Kindle book, obviously I didn't press the publish button because I didn't want that to go up as pretend one. It will actually then pop up and say, congratulations, you've published your Kindle book. Would you now like to make it a print book? You press yes, and then it converts it into the, oh gosh, a minute left. It converts it into the print file for you. And then yes, you will need to get your own ISBN number. And inside my course that's in my academy, it's $47 at sarahcorner.com/academy. I've actually got a tutorial in there to show you where to get your ISBN numbers from for your print version of your book.
Yeah, okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. If you have any more questions for me, you can email me, sarah@sarahcordiner.com, and I will look forward to seeing you all in another session. Now, don't forget, if you want to learn how to grow your very own online business, come and join my academy, sarahcordiner.com/academy, where you can get access to over 40 of my action-packed online courses and a monthly live call with me for just $47. Grab it now. See you soon. Let's go.